Hello and welcome back to Paul's Racing Channel and to the Ultimate Racing League for the 8th round, the final round of our League 4 GR4 Championship. And yeah, finally made it after plenty of delays and technical issues. We've got there, and we headed on to Fuji International Speedway in Japan. And yeah, long awaited, but we've got there in the end, haven't we? So let's take you through the points before I explain a little bit more about what's going on here on this final race. So going into this one, it's all very close at the top between James Stephen, Niggle and Wacky Racer. Just 39 points separating the three of them. Oi Mikey is back in fourth some way back. Probably just out of contention. So it's definitely between them three. It's 60 points on offer here in this final race, because it's a 1 hour endurance race round here. So you get like triple the points or double the points you would get in a normal 20-minute races. So yeah, going into this one then, we've, as you may know, if you remember from the last endurance that we've got, that we did, that any compound tyre can be used. However, every driver must run a hard compound for at least one lap during the hour in the race. So that could be at the start, could be at the finish, whenever they like. They've just got to run a hard compound tyre. So great shot of them coming down the start and finish. It's been known to be one of the longest straights in the world, actually. I think it's just shy of a mile, maybe just almost a mile long here on this 2.8 mile Fuji clockwise circuit. So it looks like they're all going down, doesn't it, on the grid there, but actually that is the rolling start, and it's headed up on the grid by the championship position. So in other words, it's wherever they are, reverse on the championship table is where they're lined up here for this race. So let's get on with it then, and we'll take you through that grid now. Sunny conditions here at the moment. We're not expecting that to change. Hopefully we're going to see this conditions all the way through to the end. So we've got Hodgie, our reserve driver, in pole position. We've got Hoppers in second, Kebab Man in third, Banksy fourth, Robbie fifth, Declan in sixth, Big Mac in seventh, Aspect in eighth, Wacky in ninth, Niggle 10th and James in 11th. So there you go, there's your three fighting it out for these the final championship or podium places. So here we go. Sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the fun. So as I say, known to be one of the longest straights in motorsport, and away we go. Audrey down in the Ferrari, taking them down to turn one. This very tight right-hand hairpin corner can be a bit of a trouble here, a bit of a problem if you've got too many cars going in. And who's that going out wide? That was one of the, I think it might be Robbie actually, or was it the other Sylvia? No, I think it was Robbie. Just ran it a bit wide in there, didn't he? But got through okay. Audrey just about still hanging on, or still holding it off. Hoppers in second, who runs a bit wide, does he? Oh, almost gets himself out there. Can run off a little bit there. That will give you penalty if you go too far. Declan having a sneaky look up the inside, and that was a little bit of a touch, was it? What happened there? Let's just go back. I missed that. Let's just have a look. So we'll stick with, well, actually we'll go with Hoppers. He ran it a little bit wide there, didn't he? Banksy was on the outside of him, and Declan has a look up the inside. Now, it was a little touch, I think, from Declan. Just pushed Hoppers out to that runoff there. Plenty of runoff out there, but it's going to knock him all the way back down to, well, at least 8th spot. Yes, it was 8th, and he might even lose 9th as well, as they all stream left, right of him, and through he goes. Bit of bumping and barging, but all cleanly through there, if you know what I mean. The Batman at the back, but now it's Declan fighting Odgie at the front. Goes for the move up the inside through the tight chicane. Didn't get it done, Odgie. Kept it there in the lead. There's Declan. Now through this right hand. I don't want to be taking too much of that curve, Declan, now. Not too bad when you've got fresh tyres on, or fresh rubber, but once they start to wear up, which it will do, obviously, there's going to be fuel and tyre change here in this race as well, obviously. You're going to be staying off those curbs as he still attacks Hodgie here at the final corner. Now they head along this straight. Declan will get some nice slipstream here as we start lap 2. Banksy just sitting off the back of them as well. There he is, going back to these leaders. Look, Declan pulls out. Hodgie tries to get Declan out of his slip. Pulls right over to the... Oh, someone's in early, so that's obviously... There's a couple going in. The 2 Corvettes, actually, I think that was. That's Wacky and Kebab Man. Declan didn't get that done. Hodgie on the inside, so they must have started on hard tyres and got that 1 lap out of the way. So now they can go all the way the remainder of the hour on what presumably a soft or medium tyre, assuming the weather stays dry. So Banksy third, there's his teammate James in 4th. So James coming through now from the back of the field in those quick Mazdas. So the 2 teammates, oh, someone kicking up there, Hodgie stroking the tyres as Banksy just let James go past. Team orders there by the looks of it. He knows that James is fighting for that championship, so he lets him through. Nickel in 5th, another one who's up there in the top 3, isn't he? So fighting his way through there as well. Robbie 6th, Big Mac 7th. Oh, Big Mac with a lunge. Oh, didn't want to, yeah, that weren't going to happen. That weren't going to work there, but he didn't get it done anyway. Didn't go for it. Just had a look. There's Aspect in the other. Sylvia, I think it may have been Aspect that actually went off at turn 1. I might have got that wrong, so apologies if it wasn't Robbie. If it wasn't you, Aspect. Oppa's 9th, and there's the 2 Corvettes, yeah, come out on softs, both of them, yeah, so obviously part of their strategy. So they're both on softs all the way now to the end. They will obviously have to still come in at some point, but at least they've got that hard tyre out of the way. Let's go through them tyres actually as we watch Declan attack Hodgie down here at turn 1, and he didn't get it done last time, did he? But will he get it done this second time? Doesn't look like the NSX quite got that pace as it to get past the Ferrari. No, he can't do it. As he goes for a really, really late lunge. No, so stays in second. So it was Hodgie on softs, Declan on softs, James Stephen on softs. So these 3, which is I guess why they're putting away slightly, are on the softs. And we go to Banksy, who's mediums, Nickel mediums, as he goes through on Banksy there on the inside. Got a very tight line. Banksy went very wide there actually. So I don't know. I don't think he wanted to let Nickel through there, being that he's fighting with his teammate for that championship. So maybe just ran it a little bit wide. Looks like he's struggling to turn that car at the moment on those medium tyres. Robbie, he started with hard, so he's gone a couple of laps now, or 3 laps now, isn't he? He's on 3rd lap on those, so he's taken a few laps out of them. Same as Big Mac in 7th with hards for him, and Aspect hard, Hopper's hards, and then the 2 soft Corvettes. So there's a few out there on the hards, but it was only really the Corvettes that just ran the 1 lap on them. So back at the front though, and James has got through on Declan. Now we missed that, didn't we, while we were going through the tyres? Let's have a quick look where that happened. It looked like that was it there, wasn't it? There it is, yeah, coming down. Let's just go back a little bit. So James got up the side of Declan. Declan covering that inside. James is not going to go around the outside here at the chicane. But I think he gets the drive. Well, actually, he goes on the outside to be on the inside, which is good. That can be done if you can hold it there and not make any contact. On the outside of the chicane will make you on the inside, on the exit of it. So good there from James, up to second. So now he's going to chase down Hodgie in the Ferrari. Might be a few pauses of commentary throughout this hour because not only have I'm going to be running out of breath. I can't talk forever, so we'll just watch the action instead at times. As James now has a look at Hodgie at turn 1, too far back there. Oh, he did have a big look actually, didn't he, James? But he knows he can do it next time. If he's still behind Hodgie at that point, he knows he's got the pace. on that Ferrari to get past him at turn 1. I think James will do it before then though, because he's looking pretty quick there in second. Half a second there though for cutting that corner, which if you see my track guide, I did say would happen. Half a second's not really going to matter to him too much, although it is on that straight, isn't it? Which is where obviously where you gain quite a lot of your slip and everything, so losing it there, although he's got no danger really from anyone else around them, but other than these three, as he now has a look at Podgy at the chicane, he's going to go up the inside this time. Hodges staying on that outside. Job done, James up to the lead. Half a second isn't really going to make a lot of difference now. But these three then. Declan looking a little bit wide there. Well, no, just go out wider there. Yeah, so you take it wide to cut in. It's such a wide right-hand corner there that you have to take it wide to then get the apex on the inside. Now here we go, so we'll watch James as he approaches this. Gets out of the way. Well, I'm trying to find his slip actually, but actually he's just going to stay there because of the, yeah, so you don't lose too much. He's going to lose the lead, but you don't actually lose too much there. Just drops back into second. Declan might get the run on him, but I think he'll just stay there in second. James is not going to go for the move on Hodgie there at turn 1. He's niggling fourth. He's got a little bit off the back of these three, isn't he? But he is on them medium tyres. As we know, all them front three are on soft, so maybe he's setting himself up for something a bit later on in this race. A bit of a lonely race at the moment, but once we start getting these stops out of the way, it's all going to shuffle that tower about anyway, and people are going to be all over the place. Aspect, Robbie and Aspect, the two Sylvia's still together. Then we've got Banksy dropping back to 7th now, so he's going backwards a little bit, isn't he, Banksy? Maybe struggling on those medium tyres and around here, and we know it eats its tyres, doesn't it? That Mazda is going to be crucial that they try and save as much as they possibly can off the tyre. Big Mac behind in 8th, and then that gap back to Wacky, who came in, has actually got ahead of Hoppers now. Hoppers has dropped all the way back to 10th. So what happened to Hoppers is he, or maybe he's come in, so maybe I missed that. Perhaps he came in, looks like he might have come in, changed down to the hards. I can't remember if he was on hards or not, or maybe not. I don't know, but he's dropped back to 10th anyway. I think he just might have started on, I think he might have come in, you know, onto the hards. But anyway, there's Kebab Man in 11th. It's been a long season. My brain's struggling at the moment, so bear with me. Just glad that this has finally got, as we see the front boys all exactly the same. It's like a repeat of the last couple of laps there, what we're seeing. But yeah, finally getting this championship to the end, which we've been waiting for some time. I know we've all been waiting for him. Oh, Declan now, great run out of there, right on the back of James. How's James' tyres looking? Not great, which is why I looked at him, because the way he exited there, Declan, and the way James looked fairly slow, just looked like his tyres were struggling, and well, absolutely struggling. No more than we'd expect on that. Declan's surely going to get him now, so James is going to have to come in. We've seen him go, obviously, with it worn completely, but this is a different scenario here in this hour-long endurance race round here at Fuji, right in the foothills of Mount Fuji. Oh, we just see it, about to see it, I think, now in the distance. Great venue, unpredictable weather. But as I say, I think we're going to keep it. There he is, there's Mount Fuji. Lovely shot of it there in the distance. That's snow-capped mountain. No sign of snow here at ground level though, as Declan goes up the inside of James. Good move, and that's all down with the tyres, wasn't it? James just couldn't get it stopped or turned. And and he drops out to the right. He's going to go into the pits. Yeah, there's no doubt that was going to happen. So it's just about what he comes out on. Will he get his hard tyres on and run a lap, or is he going to leave them till later on in the race at some point? But we'll see, won't we? But Hodgie, who's been leading this, remember, from the off here in lap 7, 11 minutes in. Tyres are looking okay as well in that Ferrari. Declan also looking good. His tyres are good as well. So second up to him, no, second for him now. So that promotes Nigel up to third in those mediums. Now maybe he's just running his own pace, not pushing too hard. He knows it's a long race, but he picks up half a second for cutting that corner, the same as what James did. So maybe, as I say, he's not pushing them too hard, just easing them through, letting them last a bit longer than perhaps they would if you're pushing it to the full maximum amount. Down into that chicane, very difficult to get your braking right there, especially when you've got cars around you. Not so much, I know Nigel hasn't, but when you've got cars around you, it's difficult to judge where you're braking now. Robbie in 4th, Aspect in 5th. So they're still, interestingly, still both on the hard. So they're almost going to the. So maybe they're going to go the entire race. I mean, 4th and 5th at the moment. It's not bad. And if they can maybe going to try and get as far as they possibly can, scrub a bit of time off, being that they're on hard, but last a longer before you start having to come into the pit lane. So, well, there's strategies all over the place. There's Wacky up to 6th now. He came in, remember, onto the softs. So I think he's just going to run these as far as he possibly can before they drop off, and then come in and then just change again, presumably for softs all the way. Banksy 7th. He's coming in, there he is, so he's changing. He had quite a lot left on those mediums, didn't he? So not too sure what was the fuel like. Yeah, plenty of fuel, so it's a strange one now. I thought he might, maybe he just wasn't feeling it. Well, he wasn't, was he? He was going backwards. There's the bad man in 9th. Big Mac in 10th. So he's dropped back, hasn't he, Big Mac? But he's been in, obviously, judging by the full tank of fuel he's got and those lovely fresh soft tyres on. So back to 10th for him, but nicely. And Hoppers is on the mediums now. So he's been in as well. Don't look like he fueled fully. So Hodgie and Declan still battling it out up top, and Declan's really on the back of Hodgie now, coming through the chicane around this cambered right-hander. Lots of curb here, all curbs that you don't want to be touching now. Bring it out wide around his left-hander, get at apex, let it run out, not too far. And then several lines here as well. Some people like to go wide and come back on, or you go a bit tighter, and Hodgie runs it a bit wide there. That's going to allow Declan to run on him up to the line, but we know that NSX isn't as quick as that Ferrari. He has taken the lead, but I think Hodgie might get him back. Well, he's still got it by a nose, hasn't he, Declan? So up to first he goes, and he's got the inside line as well, who's latest on the brakes. No, Hodgie gets it, but Declan's attacks again up the inside. Hodgie see him coming, give him plenty of room. Hodgie, being the reserve driver, is not going to get in the way of anybody who's battling for championships, or have been battling for championships all season long. So he's doing the right thing there, just keeping out of the way, but having a good race is Hodgie. Nigel there in 3rd still. Robbie 4th. This is where it all starts to shuffle about now. His teammate's gone in. He's in at the moment, Aspect. Wacky up to 5th. And then James, it was interesting to see what he come out on. So he did come out in his hard. So he's getting them out now. So how many laps is he going to do on those? Bad man at 7th. Banksy 8th. Yep, he's out on hards as well, so he's following suit with his teammate as we see Aspect exiting the pit lane. Here he is. Right out in front of the Big Mac. Big Mac should take him here because I think Big Mac's on the softs. He is. Aspect, I believe, is on. Oh, he's on soft as well. Okay, so. Oh, yeah, you can't go 2 through there. Aspect had that line. Had to be given. He had to give him that, didn't he, Big Mac? He had that inside line, so Big Mac 10th, then Hopper's 11th. Just being left behind a little bit now is Hoppers. But he's on the mediums. A little bit of lag there, a little bit of glitching on his car. So Declan now leading out. He's pulling away from Hodgie. Tyres are still reasonable. Just over half a tank of fuel as well, so it's all okay for Declan at the moment. Just needs to keep running them lines, hitting his apexes, his braking points. Hodgie will keep going. Tyres are just about usable still at this point. Or certainly that front left anyway. A lot of it's here where you wear that front left, that long sweeping right-hander, all that left side. It's got the full weight of the car down on that as it goes around there. That's where it wears your tyres on the left side there. That's the main culprit, or the main area that does it. Niggle. About the same in regards to tyre wear as Hodgie. In 3rd place is Niggle. There's Wacky up to 4th. Those soft tyres are wearing pretty quickly. Robbie in 5th spot. Still on those hard tyres. Running them to as far as he possibly can. He obviously feels more comfortable on the hard maybe. Perhaps he just feels that obviously they're going to last longer, as you can see. So maybe he's just banking on all the other guys having to come in to change, and he can just fly by without having to change. Well, not as often as them anyway. He's obviously going to have to change at some point as Hodgie's in now. So Hodgie goes in. James up to 6th. He's going to take a place off Hodgie here, I suspect. That'll put him up to 5th place then, James. And he's going to get a few laps on those hard tyres as well. So James will take that 5th place now. Or is he? Hodgie's exiting now, so does he get Hodgie? Hodgie's at 3 seconds, that's for cutting the pit lane. But we know he's just making up numbers really, isn't he, Hodgie? Obviously he's getting points, but not really part of this championship, has he? But 3 seconds there for him for cutting the pit lane entrance. Got to be a bit careful when you go in. That's just an automatic 3-second penalty that the game gives pretty much on any circuit that where you get a pit lane penalty. Standard practice 3-second. There's James right up him now. Go back to our leader though, as he just comes round that final corner. 20 minutes in, and he stays out. So we're a third of the way through this race already. Big crowds here at Fuji as well, all come to watch this final round. Get behind their favourite drivers. Niggle up to 2nd now. Not got much left on those tyres, so he's going to have to think about coming in shortly. And again, will he just leave the fuel, maybe chuck a hard on, get a tyre on, get a lap in I should say, on those hard tyres, and then switch it back to a medium or a soft. So many different strategies that can be played out here. that are trying to work them all out, I'm not going to bother, because as I say, I've fried my brain cells anyway enough this season, so I'm not even going to try and figure out who's on what here. Let's just watch the fun. It'll sort itself out anyway come the end. Wacky up to third now, but he's going to have to consider coming in as well soon, just for tyres. So remember, we got Niggle, Wacky, who we're looking at now, and James here are all the three that are really finding it out for the championship win. Runner up and third spot. Mikey isn't here, who was in fourth in the championship, so he's not going to get any points or any additional points here, so he's out of the running for anything. I think he was just out of it anyway in terms of finishing in the top three, so it's all about what these three can do and where they're going to end up at the end, which obviously I will let you know come the end. So Niggle stays out, Declan's still out. And that intersection does keep his tyres very well, doesn't it? 13 laps in on the softs. It's not bad, you know. James Stephen has got that fastest lap, or has had that fastest lap. I don't think anyone's actually beaten it yet. It's a 1:45.728. That must have been when he first came out, when he was on those softs. Obviously, he's not going to be getting them now. He's on the hard tyre, but I don't think it's been beaten yet, but still plenty of time as we approach the last, or actually into the last 8 minutes of this first half of the race. So let's just run through this field then quickly when we've got a bit of time. So Declan all on his own out there. Nice gap then back to Niggle, who's under pressure from Wacky. Good move, just right on cue, look at that. So let's just go back then and watch what happened here as we see Niggle under attack from Wacky, who's obviously got slightly better tyres than what Niggle has down here at the chicane. Pulls out up the inside, goes Wacky, and job done. Niggle back to third, Wacky to second, but of course these two are fighting it, remember, as I keep saying. So this is a bit of a championship battle, this one. Niggle won't let it bother him at this stage. He knows that it's still a long way to go and lots of stops and to be had yet. So let's go again. So Declan there, Wacky second, Niggle third. And we've got Robbie in fourth, doing well there is Robbie. James in fifth spot, Declan's in now, so that's going to get Wacky to our lead. So Declan's come in. We've got Hodgie in sixth spot, Kebab Man seventh. Eighth for Big Mac with half a second penalty as well. Closely followed by Aspect in ninth. Banksy 10th, coming into the chicane now. And I don't know what happened there. I don't know why we've changed views. Let's go back to that one. Not sure what happened there. Had a mind of its own there for a second. And we've gone back to the leader. So, don't know what happened there. But anyway, back to our leader then. Had a mind of its own there for a second. "25 minutes in. Declan still in the pits, out now. Looks like he's just come out on hards. Niggle second. Both pretty much identical in terms of tyres, so it'll be interesting now. So let's just stick with these two and see if they do come in, or whether they're going to run it and maybe just get one more lap out of these, that front left. Remember, Wacky on softs, Niggle on mediums. Through the final corner, Wacky might get another, he might think about getting another lap out of that, what's left of that front left. Niggle looks like he's staying to the right, so he's coming in. So Wacky's staying out, Nichols coming in. Yep, Robbie in third spot. And James up to fourth. Hodgie fifth. Of course, once they pass Nickel, they're all going to be going up a spot, so I'll be Hodgie fourth in a minute. Kebab Man sixth, under pressure from Declan, 3 seconds, so he's done exactly what same as what Hodgie done. Cut that pit lane entrance there, so right up behind Kebab Man, and now well behind the Kebab Man, but in 7th spot. Aspect 8th, Big Mac in 9th. Hoppers, he's had a bit of a lonely race back there, hasn't he? And he's getting further and further back. He's just not liking it out there, is he, at the moment? Tyres are wearing as well. So I think he'll be glad if when this race is over. Lots of squealing tyres there. Squealing like a piggy. There's Wacky. So from Piggy to Wacky. Our leader. He didn't get that one more lap in, didn't he? And he's got a nice gap back to Robbie now, who's got that 2nd spot. So obviously Declan came in. So let's see. So he's at a gap that he can... And he's going to stay out at the moment. He's done this, didn't he, in a previous round. Gets himself a nice lead and then just sees how far he can take him with the front left gone, as we see Robbie going into 2nd. James in 3rd spot. He stayed on them hards for a little while. He knows that them softs, what them softs are like on that car. Hards are certainly a lot better and they're lasting a lot longer, but still half of them gone there on the left side, isn't it? 16 laps in though, Hodgie 4th. Batman 5th. Great shot if you see them coming along this long straight. Nigel 7th, so he came in and came out in 7th spot. Still got his hazard lights going. Big Mac in 8th, closely followed by Aspect now. Does Aspect have a go at him down here at turn 1? Stick with this and have a look, maybe too far back at that point. Big Mac get it stopped though, that looked very hot in there. Yeah, it looked like he was never going to make that. So he's going to drop that down to 9th. Just didn't get the braking at all right there, did he? Well too hot in there, the Big Mac, into turn 1. And Hoppers, we know, is in 10th spot. Back to our leader. Intrigued to see now whether he's going to remain out for a little while or whether he's going to come in. I think he's going to stay out. He'll probably try and stay out as long as he can with the fuel just above a quarter now. Maybe try and run that all the way down so then when he's in he can do both tyres and fuel. He's got almost the full length of the straight now. Back to Robbie in 2nd. So maybe he feels Wacky that's a big enough gap. I think James might be coming in, he's down to the right. So he is, or is he? Yes, he is. It's a strange one. Well, he isn't hard, so he wants to get back out onto those maybe for this final 30 minutes, get back out on something a little bit quicker. Hodgie there in 3rd spot, James is in, as we know. So Hodgie up to 3rd, in fact. Kebab Man to 5th. He's going to take 4th though, from James. Just like that. Declan up to 5th. Nickel 6th. Aspect 7th. James is out on softs. Big Mac in 8th, just ahead of James. Just got there, didn't he? Doesn't get it stopped again. No, so that's twice now. Maybe just distracted by James coming out the pits. He did lose that spot to him as well. So back to 9th goes the Big Mac. So struggled a couple of times there, hasn't he, on turn 1. The big Mac hovers there in 10th. And our leader still out there in 1st place. He's going to come in now though. He's Wacky. Into the pits he goes. Be careful of those lines.